Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and this video is a complete Outlook tutorial. Outlook is one of the best and most popular email platforms, and in this video, I will be showing you how to do everything. From how you can receive emails, how you can send and reply to emails, how you can organize your emails into separate inboxes so that you can keep on top of your emails, and even some back-end settings that will improve your Outlook experience. Essentially, all you have to do is follow along with this tutorial, and you will walk away as an Outlook expert. If you do not yet have an Outlook account, well, the very first thing that we need to do is set one up. If you do already have an Outlook account, well, you can skip along to the next section using the timestamps in the description of this video. To create an account, you can either just Google Outlook right here, and it's going to be this top option, Microsoft Outlook, or you can click on the top link in the description of this video, and it will take you over to this page. Next, what we need to do is click right here on create free account. And in this section, we can now create a new email. So enter in the new email, and then this will be at outlook.com. So for example, I can go for, let's go for GeForce North Test at outlook.com. Then we can click on next. And just like that, this is going to be my new email. Then we can go through this section and we can create a password that we will be using with this email, and then click on next. Then enter in your name. Then we can click on next. Date of birth is going to be the next question, so we can answer this. And now we can go through. They are usually going to give us a captcha. So we just need to go through and position this so it's at the same angle like this is right here, and we can submit. And just like that, we now have our Outlook account. So immediately, this is going to take us over to the email area. And now we are inside of Outlook. Now on this left-hand side, we have favorites and folders. And then inside of favorites and folders, we have a few different options. So under favorites, I will go more into detail with this later on. But the main section of your email is right here in folders. So we have inbox. This is where any emails you receive, these are going to come into the inbox and they will be shown right here. Then we can go to junk email. So often what will happen is when you receive an email, if it looks scammy or doesn't look very real or legit, then what Outlook will often do is they have spam filters in place. So if an email comes through and it doesn't quite look right, then instead of sending it to your inbox, they kind of give you a warning and say, hey, this email might not be the best. And they will put it in junk mail right here. So you will see all of your junk mail here. Then drafts is emails that you have written, but you didn't send. So you can come back to them later and continue to write the email. Once again, we will talk more on this later. Sent items is going to show you all of the emails that you have ever sent on Outlook. All of the emails you have ever sent will show up right here. Deleted items are where all of your deleted emails will be. So if I go to my inbox right here, we can see that for signing up, I was sent an email from the Outlook team. So I can go through, I can read this email, and then what I can do is go right here and then click on either archive or delete. Now these are essentially two different folders, so deleted will show up here and archive will show up here. So you would essentially send emails that you don't want in your inbox, but you still want to keep. You would send them to archive. And then emails that you want to delete completely, send to deleted items. And the emails in deleted items, they will be completely deleted in 30 days. So if I just go to my inbox, and what I can do is delete this. And now if I go back to deleted items, we can see it's now going to show up there. So under deleted items, we can also delete this once again. To completely remove it, it will be completely gone and will no longer show up in deleted items. And I always think it's a good idea to just come in here and we can empty the folder entirely for deleted. And that's going to get rid of them entirely. What we can do though in deleted is if you want to actually restore your email. So let's say I accidentally moved this to deleted and I want it back. Well, I can use this restore button at the top to restore this. And now this is going to be back in my inbox. So that is archive and deleted. Then in notes, this is a very interesting section of an email tool because not many email tools offer this. But in notes, what we can do is basically go in here and write out different notes. So I can click in new notes, and then in here, I can write notes inside of Outlook. So maybe I don't have time to write an email right now, but I want to make a reminder of this. So I could say write an email to the electric company, and then once I am done, I can just go back out and continue using my email like normal. And you will see in notes, it shows this one icon. So I can now see, okay, cool, there must be something in here. I come back and I'm now reminded that I can write an email to the electric company. Maybe I now have time, so I can write that. And then once I'm happy with that, once I have completed this note, well, I can just delete this right here. Then we can also create a new folder right here. So what you might want to do, and I will show you this in more detail later, but you might want to create specific folders to keep your emails organized. So what we could do is go create folder, and I might say that this one is for electricity. And then I will be able to move all of my electricity emails into this folder right here. So all of my electricity emails will show up here. Then I might create a new email and say that this one is about rent. So I can create rent right there. And I now have 2 different folders. And when we get emails into this inbox, we can then move them into the folders. But what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go over to one of my other email accounts and send myself a bunch of emails so that we can actually see this in action and I can walk you through everything that you need to know. So I now have all of these emails in my inbox. I have 5 emails right here. And then this 6th one is the Outlook team. So we can see inside of the inbox which emails have been read and which haven't been read. Because the emails that I haven't read show up with this blue icon right here. We can see there's 5 of them. And it's also going to show up right here how many unread emails that you have. So with this electricity bill, watch what happens. If I click on this and I read this email, that's going to lose its blue effect. And this inbox is now going to drop to 4 as I only have 4 unread emails. So we can click through the Outlook team. I'm going to delete again. Then the electricity bill. Well, this fits into electricity. So I now want to move this from my inbox to my electricity folder so that I can keep track of this. To do this, we want to go up to move to at the top. We can click into this and it says search for a folder. So in here, I'm going to type in electricity. Then we can select that. And just like this email, if I now go to electricity, my electricity bill email is now in my electricity folder. So then we can go up. Now this email is about work, but I don't have a work folder. So what I can do is create a new folder. We'll call this one work. And then once again, we can go move to, search for folder, we will search for work and drop that into the work folder. Now this email is a spam email. I can tell it's a spam email. I don't really want this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. Now this is going to show up in my deleted items. These are all of the items that I've deleted. And then to completely remove these, even from the deleted items area, I can just empty this folder, delete, and now all of those emails are gone. I also have an email right here about rent. So let's go and move this to the rent folder. Perfect. And this email is unimportant. However, I might still need this later. So what I can do with this email is I can archive this. This is going to be in my archived section. So now if I go through, I can see my inbox is nice and clean. I don't have any more emails right now. And if I go down to electricity, I can see my electricity bill, my rent emails are here, and my work emails are here. What you can also do is if any emails pop in that you know is going to be a spam email, then we can click on this email. Let's imagine this email is spam, and we can actually report this email. So we can report and block the sender, and that's going to stop the sender from sending you emails. And on top of it, it's also going to report that email sender to Microsoft so they can take a look through and see, is this an issue? Do they need to block the user? Do they need to ban the user? Essentially, what measures do they need to take? We also can flag and unflag emails. And essentially what you can use this to do is you can set due dates when you need to reply to this email. So let's say with my electricity bill right here, I know that this is due by the end of the week. So I can go to flag and unflag, drop this down, and I can say this week. And then I can see right here, it's going to flag the email. And I can now clearly see when this email is due. So even when I'm looking through all of these other emails that would appear here, I can still see this flag icon. And I know that this email is something important because I flagged it. But for now, let's just go back in and unflag. Another very important aspect to email marketing is also going to be sending emails. So we've already discussed how we receive emails and how we organize emails into different areas and what all of these folders are. However, the next thing that we can do is actually create an email. So to create an email, we just go up to a new email in this top left corner. And in here, we can now start writing the email. So in this to section, we enter in who we want to send this email to. So we can enter the person's email in right there. We can then add a subject right here. So if I just add the subject as this is a test email, and then I will just say this is a test email to check if this is working. Thanks, GeForce North. So we write the email out right there. And then what we can do is we can either send the email immediately or schedule to send it. So if we go to schedule send, you might be creating a work email on a Friday night, but of course you don't want it to go out till Monday. So we can actually go schedule send, and then we can choose a customized time. And let's say that we want to send this out on Monday. So we select the date. Then I'm going to say, I want this email to send at 10 a.m. on Monday. And then we can click on send right here, and it's going to schedule that email. So if we click on that, it's now going to show up in the draft section because this email is not sent yet. If we wanted to go through and we changed our mind and we say, hey, I don't really want to send this email, we can see it when it's scheduled for. But I can either go in right now and I can edit this email, or alternatively, I can delete this email and now it's not going to send. But let's go back in and create a new email once again. So you already know that we can type text here, but there's a few other things that we can do. For example, we can change the font and we can change the size of the text in this email. So if we now type, you can see that looks very different. We can highlight this, and along this top bar, we can use this button to bold the text, this button to italicize text, this button to underline, and this button to strike through. We can highlight certain elements of text by highlighting, then going up to this highlight button, and let's say we want to highlight this in yellow, we can have that right there. We can also change the font color. So let me just remove this highlight right here, and we'll go for no color. So I'll highlight this, then go back and say no color, perfect. We can change the font color by going here and choosing a color, so let's go red. And then most importantly, what we can also do in emails is add an attachment. So we can attach a file right here. Let's just browse this computer and I will find a random image. We can upload this and that's going to attach that file. So if you want to send images or videos or anything like that, then you just attach them to the email. But let's delete this and let me type something different real quick. So we'll just go here and remove attachment. And then we can just fill it with a bunch of random letters because this is just a test email. Then we can click on send. And now that is sent, because we have sent this email, it's not going to show up under drafts this time. Because this is sent, it's going to show up under sent items, and I can see the email right here. Now, you will notice that we can delete the email in this section. It's not going to affect if this email is sent, it's just going to remove it from this sent items area. But if I go back, I can see the email that I sent right here. This landed in my other inbox. So this is perfect, and this is all working. Aside from creating a new email like we just did, another thing that you can do is reply to an email. So right here, I have this email about an electricity bill. And what I can do is reply to this email. So this is going to create kind of like a thread. And I could maybe say in here, thanks for letting me know, I will pay tomorrow. And then we can click on send right here. And just like that, it's going to send this reply. And I just replied to that email. So that is pretty much everything that you need to know to be able to use Outlook effectively. The final section of this video, we are going to be looking at the settings area and just some settings and preferences that you can change to better your Outlook experience. So the first option right here is, do you want Outlook to sort your email to help you focus on what matters most? So essentially what it means is we have two tabs right here, focused and other. And essentially this is only really going to matter if you have a really packed inbox and you're receiving hundreds of emails per day. It's just going to show you what Outlook thinks is going to be important to you in focused, and things that Outlook don't find important is going to be in other. So what I always do is just say don't sort my messages, and then if we save this, you can see those sections have been removed and we now just have one inbox. This next option is text size and spacing, so you can essentially choose if you want the font on your emails to be small, medium or large. By default, this is large, and this is what I usually stick with. And I don't want to go into a lot of detail with every single one of these individual layout settings because there's a lot of them. But just look down here and you can basically sort these settings yourself. So how many rows should each message use? You can try these out and basically flick through. But there are some other much more important settings that I want to go over. One of these is compose and reply. So what you can do is you can add an email signature, and these will automatically be added to the top of your email messages. So in here, I can like sign this Riley Holden, and this is automatically going to be added to the top. So this is an awesome idea to do. We can then go down and choose the font and size that your emails are sent in. So by default, when you send an email, it's going to look like this. But we can click right here and we can change the font. So I could go for this. And as you can see, the font's now going to change. And then I can also choose the size as well. Now, there are a few other things in here, such as suggested replies. But honestly, in these settings, I wouldn't really recommend going through and changing any of these. I'm just going through here to check if I would. So all of these, I would pretty much leave the set. So just come in here, you can edit this section, compose and reply, go through and see what you want to change. And also the layout, go through and see what you want to change. But the rest of these, I would just leave them as they are. So that is my complete Outlook tutorial. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.